Some breaking news coming in from Ukraine, and Ukraine has destroyed Russian strategic bombers in a mass drone attack on airfields deep inside Moscow's territory. The operation carried out by Ukraine's security service targeted 4 airfields in what could be the most damaging drone strike of the 3-year war. Now, footage from Belaya Base in Siberia shows rows of Russian strategic and nuclear bombers burning, while heavy plumes of black smoke can be seen rising above Olenia Air Base in the Arctic. Russia moved its expensive bombers thousands of miles from the front lines to get them out of range of Ukraine's drones. Drones also targeted the Ivanovo Air Base northeast of Moscow and Diaghilevo Base south of the capital. A huge explosion has also rocked the Russian Arctic city of Severomorsk, which is home to the Northern Fleet's main naval base, although the damage is not yet clear. Russia is yet to respond to the drone strikes. The simultaneous strikes raise questions about the range at which Ukraine can carry out such sophisticated attacks. The fresh assault comes after a wave of bombings targeting Russian railway lines overnight, which derailed trains and killed at least 7 people. All right, let's talk to Dr. Sergei Sumleni, who's a defense expert and director of European Resilience Initiative Center, is now joining us live on this matter. The governor of Irkutsk region has just issued a statement. I'll read part of the statement. He says that this is the first time Siberia has been hit. One drop was at an old building. The exact number of UAVs has not yet been counted. Operation and security services have been pulled to the scene, and he's asking people not to panic. But what's the significance of this latest move by Ukraine?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for having invited me here today. It's an honor and pleasure to be your guest, as always. Well, the attack is marvelous. I literally cannot name anything in the history of the comparable attack. Attacks simultaneously against 5 military bases across the country with a distance of over 4,000 kilometers between the targets. Absolutely unexpected. Ukrainians say that they have destroyed or damaged 40 strategic bombers, even if a part of this number is true. And I think looking at the number of smokes, it is true. Russia has lost a huge part of its strategic fleet. We have seen the Tupolev 95 bombers burning. They burning especially good, these old bombers, and Russia cannot replace them. And Tupolev 95 is especially important because it can carry multiply cruise missiles simultaneously, much more than Tupolev 22 or Tupolev 160. And Russia needs to saturate Ukrainian air defense with their cruise missile strikes. So when Tupolev 95 are out of the game, Russia cannot mass strike Ukraine. And I need to show you, like, this is literally the 10-inch drone. Exactly with these drones we supply the Ukrainians. And this is the drone which costs like 400 to 500 euro. And in the hands of the Ukrainian SBU, not our drones, unfortunately, but similar drones, could destroy weapons of mass destruction, million dollar per unit bombers, which can kill thousands of people. They have been like just knocked out by these small toys, and that is absolutely amazing. Some people say it's Pearl Harbor. I argue it's not Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was an unprovoked aggression and led, after all, for destruction of Japanese military. This is much more a battle of Yavin, the rebels attacking a Death Star with small power, with small forces, attacking a terror weapon which allows the empire to terrorize the whole galaxy. That is literally the battle of Yavin. What happened before, only in Hollywood, happens now in reality.
Dr. Sumleni, let me ask you this then. It is clear that this is drone warfare. How is Russia likely to respond to this latest attack by Ukraine, and considering this is miles away, we are talking about 4,300 kilometers, like you mentioned there, and having in mind that the talks are just tomorrow, slated for tomorrow.
Well, first of all, I think that we need to separate two things. Does Putin need to save his face in front of his own military? Yes, maybe. Will he do it? We don't know. Before, there was no such case. Then Russian cruise missile Moskva was destroyed. There was no reaction of Putin and other things similar, no response from Putin. And there are people who say now Russia will retaliate. Okay, first of all, I will ask by what, with 40% of Russian strategic bomber fleet is burning in front of our eyes. And did Russia ever need a reason to mass shell Ukrainian cities? No. I am currently in Kyiv. Every night we have ballistic missile threats. Just like several hours ago, a ballistic missile was intercepted just over my house with a sound you will not miss in your life. And that is the reality. Russia never needed any reason to attack Ukraine, to kidnap Ukrainian children, to destroy Ukrainian cities, to kill Ukrainian prisoners of war, etc. So why do we call, even if Russia attack Ukraine tonight, which can happen, this is not a retaliation or response. It is what Russia does anyway. But the position of Russia in negotiations is dramatically weaker, because Russia cannot say to Ukrainians, as they said last time, just accept our demands or you will lose 5 more oblasts, because the Ukrainians will say, just get out of our country or you will lose the rest of your strategic nuclear forces. And that is very real. That is very real. And that means that the negotiations, and Russians have already announced that their delegation has left for Turkey for the talks, the negotiations will be held under the shadow of Russia's weakness and Russia's destruction, not of Russia's power and superiority.
All right. Dr. Sergei Sumleni, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your insights and for talking to us today.
Thank you so much.